In the real estate market, sellers and buyers have great expectations, and as a real estate agent, you take pride in fulfilling them. But some things are beyond your control. So what can you do? Choose Home Warranty of America's 13-month plans. HWA plans cover the home buyer against any breakdowns or repairs, keeping you and your clients safe from any covered claims. We offer comprehensive plans with competitive pricing, and our dedicated team will work with you every step of the way. To learn more, contact HWA today.
At Family Reunion 2018, we rolled out our first ever Labs Live, where we put a glass room right in the center of the trade floor and invited agents participate in brainstorming solutions they wanted us to build to help grow their business. We conducted 23 labs with over 350 agents in a span of only 3 days. Those agents generated over 115 ideas they identified as potential solutions to solve their current business challenges. Within 24 hours, we designed 3 prototypes and invited our entire agent base to vote on which concept they wanted us to build. The #1 takeaway from that event was that agents were using 10 to 15 different applications on their phone to manage their business, and they wanted to unite a single app to consolidate everything. This was a critical moment when agents helped guide us to evolve Kelly to become more than just a voice chat interface, but become a central mobile app for them to run their entire business on. And that's exactly what Kelly's becoming now, thanks to the agents.
One of the secrets to great success is to change your perspective on failures before they ultimately succeed. Some let their failures stop them. Some keep trying. You'll probably have to fail a few times before you get it right. Success is not about avoiding failure. Failure is about avoiding failure. Success is about trying. Fail fast, fail forward, fail often.
In the real estate market, sellers and buyers have great expectations, and as a real estate agent, you take pride in fulfilling them. But some things are beyond your control. So what can you do? Choose Home Warranty of America's 13-month plans. HWA plans cover the home buyer against any breakdowns or repairs, keeping you and your clients safe from any covered claims. We offer comprehensive plans with competitive pricing, and our dedicated team will work with you every step of the way. To learn more, contact HWA today.
KW Command is going to be an agent's one-stop shop to run their business. So that means workflow automation, task management,
accountability and tracking,
mailings, do Facebook ads,
saving time, saving money.
And I think specific target marketing is going to be a huge game changer.
I'm excited to see what the business looks like with those opportunities being available rather than missed.
I think the most surprising thing to me about Command is that it's going to do everything that I've wanted a CRM or a product for a real estate agent to do for the last 10 years.
To be able to have it all rolled up together, to have it as one system.
I think it's going to save time mostly in our day-to-day activities because we're going to be able to accomplish a lot more in a short period of time and then move on to what we do best, which is lead generation and selling homes.
I've been feeding off the excitement. Everybody has had a lot of great things to say about it.
Even just today, they're changing things on the spot, so I'm able to create a product that really works for me as an agent in real time and have impact on what's going to happen for everybody.
It's huge, just the fact that we can give feedback and bug them with their questions.
Other companies don't put that kind of emphasis into their agent support.
And it's so important because agents are running it. It's not someone who's not in real estate and doing this on a day-to-day basis. It's really taking it from who's going to be utilizing it.
Jill, you haven't responded to any of my messages about this new business proposition. I would take this on myself, but I'm so swamped with work. They're willing to pay your full commission, plus an extra $1,000, all up front for your services. Okay.
Why leave money on the table?
Who's that British guy?
Kelly makes working with referral requests easy. Watch for push notifications. When one comes through, click the alert. View the request in the Kelly notifications window, and then press Accept, Reject, or Counter. So if growing your business is important to you, leverage Kelly, you'll thank me later. Kelly, an easy way to grow your referral network and build your referral business.
In the real estate market, sellers and buyers have great expectations, and as a real estate agent, you take pride in fulfilling them. But some things are beyond your control. So what can you do? Choose Home Warranty of America's 13-month plans. HWA plans cover the home buyer against any breakdowns or repairs, keeping you and your clients safe from any covered claims. We offer comprehensive plans with competitive pricing, and our dedicated team will work with you every step of the way. To learn more, contact HWA today.
Good morning, KW.
Welcome to this week's
Career Growth Initiative live stream.
We are going to give you an overview of all tech resources.
We are talking about Kelly.
KW Command.
Agent-to-agent referrals.
The vision.
I am so excited. The future's unlimited.
This is actually alive in itself.
Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't work.
We're going to try to keep this as interactive as possible.
So we have an awesome group of panels. We have 3 market centers joining us. We'd love to get your questions.
How are they going to have access each day?
Have all the statistics.
Oh, hello. While I have you here, I want to tell you that now is the perfect opportunity to download Kelly to your smartphone or your mobile device. The more that Kelly is adopted, the faster Kelly grows. The faster Kelly grows, the smarter Kelly becomes. And the smarter that Kelly becomes, the more that Kelly will be able to do for all of our agents in the field. What's not to love about any of this? Do yourself and everyone else in the Keller Williams family a favor and begin your adoption of Kelly today. Kelly, your business's future operating system. Download today at the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Do you guys need adopting?
the real estate market, sellers and buyers have great expectations, and as a real estate agent, you take pride in fulfilling them. But some things are beyond your control. So what can you do? Choose Home Warranty of America's 13-month plans. HWA plans cover the home buyer against any breakdowns or repairs, keeping you and your clients safe from any covered claims. We offer comprehensive plans with competitive pricing, and our dedicated team will work with you every step of the way. To learn more, contact HWA today.
Are your action plans being fully implemented? Are they really action hopes? With Command, you can move from action hopes to smart plans. Smart plans is the engine behind Command that allows you to automate your functionary activities so that you can focus on being a fiduciary to your clients. This workflow management and automation tool enables you to be 100% certain your listing checklists, drip campaigns, marketing, and much more are carried out in the way you intended. To get started with Smart Plans, click the Smart Plans icon. Next, click My Smart Plans. When you first open the page, it'll be blank and ready for you to select or create a smart plan. If you want to use a smart plan that's already been created, browse the KW library. If you see something you like, you can preview the plan and add it to My Smart Plans by clicking the plus sign. If you choose to create your own smart plan, just click Create New Smart Plan. It's quick and easy with the click and drag features. Add items such as tasks you need to complete, such as staging a house on a listing smart plan, delays, the amount of time to wait before taking another action, emails. These could be part of a marketing campaign or follow-up emails. Watch for additional items to be added as they move through the lab's process. If you're on a team, your smart plans are immediately shared in the exclusive team library. And since Command tools are integrated, smart plan activities are automatically associated and accessible from the relevant contact. For example, if you use smart plans to send personalized happy birthday emails, you'll also find those emails on that contact's activities. Once you've activated a smart plan, you can go back to the dashboard to view My Analytics. From Analytics, you can easily measure your results and make smart decisions about which activities to adjust or double down on to amplify your business. With smart plans, you're not hoping. You're automating smart business strategies so that you can focus on providing extraordinary value to your consumer.
Keller Williams technology starts with the agent's notes from labs. Those with the daily experiences are actually the ones that are drawing our mock-ups. You are the designers of your own technology.
I think the coolest aspect of the lab so far has been being able to be in a small room with the decision makers of this company.
There's a huge confidence knowing that agents are involved. It's not just something that a programmer somewhere thought was a good idea. Agents know best what kind of products we need.
Going to a lab a couple months ago compared to now, I can see how the products have changed.
It continues to grow and it continues to get better.
Labs is putting the future of real estate technology into our hands.
Definitely feel like we're on the ground floor. It's awesome to be a part of that.
In the real estate market, sellers and buyers have great expectations, and as a real estate agent, you take pride in fulfilling them. But some things are beyond your control. So what can you do? Choose Home Warranty of America's 13-month plans. HWA plans cover the home buyer against any breakdowns or repairs, keeping you and your clients safe from any covered claims. We offer comprehensive plans with competitive pricing, and our dedicated team will work with you every step of the way. To learn more, contact HWA today.
At Family Reunion 2018, we rolled out our first ever Labs Live, where we put a glass room right in the center of the trade floor and invited agents participate in brainstorming solutions they wanted us to build to help grow their business. We conducted 23 labs with over 350 agents in a span of only 3 days. Those agents generated over 115 ideas they identified as potential solutions to solve their current business challenges. Within 24 hours, we designed 3 prototypes and invited our entire agent base to vote on which concept they wanted us to build. The number one takeaway from that event was that agents were using 10 to 15 different applications on their phone to manage their business, and they wanted to unite a single app to consolidate everything. This was a critical moment when agents helped guide us to evolve Kelly to become more than just a voice chat interface, but become a central mobile app for them to run their entire business on. And that's exactly what Kelly's becoming now, thanks to the agents.
One of the secrets to great success is to change your perspective on failure. Everyone experiences failures before they ultimately succeed. Some let their failure stop them. Some keep trying. You'll probably have to fail a few times before you get it right. Success is not about avoiding failure. Failure is about avoiding failure. Success is about trying. Fail fast, fail forward, fail often.
In the real estate market, sellers and buyers have great expectations, and as a real estate agent, you take pride in fulfilling them. But some things are beyond your control. So what can you do? Choose Home Warranty of America's 13-month plans. HWA plans cover the home buyer against any breakdowns or repairs, keeping you and your clients safe from any covered claims. We offer comprehensive plans with competitive pricing, and our dedicated team will work with you every step of the way. To learn more, contact HWA today.
KW Command is going to be an agent's one-stop shop to run their business. So that means workflow automation, task management,
accountability and tracking,
mailings, do Facebook ads,
saving time, saving money.
And I think specific target marketing is going to be a huge game changer.
I'm excited to see what the business looks like with those opportunities being available rather than missed.
I think the most surprising thing to me about Command is that it's going to do everything that I've wanted a CRM or a product for a real estate agent to do for the last 10 years.
To be able to have it all rolled up together, to have it as one system.
I think it's going to save time mostly in our day-to-day activities because we're going to be able to accomplish a lot more in a short period of time and then move on to what we do best, which is lead generation and selling homes.
I've been feeding off the excitement. Everybody has had a lot of great things to say about it.
Even just today, they're changing things on the spot, so I'm able to create a product that really works for me as an agent in real time and have impact on what's going to happen for everybody.
It's huge, just the fact that we can give feedback and bug them with their questions.
Other companies don't put that kind of emphasis into their agent support.
And it's so important because agents are running it. It's not someone who's not in real estate and doing this on a day-to-day basis. It's really taking it from who's going to be utilizing it.
Jill, you haven't responded to any of my messages about this new business proposition. I would take this on myself, but I'm so swamped with work. They're willing to pay your full commission, plus an extra $1,000, all up front for your services. Okay.
Why leave money on the table?
Who's that British guy?
Kelly makes working with referral requests easy. Watch for push notifications. When one comes through, click the alert. View the request in the Kelly notifications window, and then press accept, reject, or counter. So if growing your business is important to you, leverage Kelly. You'll thank me later. Kelly, an easy way to grow your referral network and build your referral business.
In the real estate market, sellers and buyers have great expectations, and as a real estate agent, you take pride in fulfilling them. But some things are beyond your control. So what can you do? Choose Home Warranty of America's 13-month plans. HWA plans cover the home buyer against any breakdowns or repairs, keeping you and your clients safe from any covered claims. We offer comprehensive plans with competitive pricing, and our dedicated team will work with you every step of the way. To learn more, contact HWA today.
Good morning, KW.
Welcome to this week's
Career Growth Initiative live stream.
We are going to give you an overview of all tech resources.
We are talking about Kelly KW Command.
Agent-to-agent referrals.
The vision.
I am so excited. The future's unlimited.
This is actually a lab in itself. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't work.
We're going to try to keep this as interactive as possible.
So we have an awesome group of panels.
We have 3 market centers joining us. We'd love to get your questions.
How are they going to have access each day?
Have all the statistics.
Oh, hello. While I have you here, I want to tell you that now is the perfect opportunity to download Kelly to your smartphone or your mobile device. The more that Kelly is adopted, the faster Kelly grows. The faster Kelly grows, the smarter Kelly becomes. And the smarter that Kelly becomes, the more that Kelly will be able to do for all of our agents in the field. What's not to love about any of this? Do yourself and everyone else in the Keller Williams family a favor and begin your adoption of Kelly today. Kelly, your business's future operating system. Download today at the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Do you guys need adopting?
In the real estate market, sellers and buyers have great expectations, and as a real estate agent, you take pride in fulfilling them. But some things are beyond your control. So what can you do? Choose Home Warranty of America's 13-month plans. HWA plans cover the home buyer against any breakdowns or repairs, keeping you and your clients safe from any covered claims. We offer comprehensive plans with competitive pricing, and our dedicated team will work with you every step of the way. To learn more, contact HWA today.
Are your action plans being fully implemented? Are they really action hopes? With
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Gary Keller and Josh Team.
I got one go, yeah.
Good morning. Please.
Which one you want?
And the one. How are you this morning? Good? Woohoo! Well, again, I really appreciate you coming out this morning and joining us for this. The game plan is to have a lot of fun and move really fast, right? So, you want to start right in?
Let's dive right in. Well, first, should we introduce, we have some friends here. You guys want to introduce yourself really quick?
Cody?
I'm Cody Gibson from Portland, Oregon.
And Brian Gubernick, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Backstage, we were saying that Cody's trying to show us up the ZZ Top sharp-dressed man look.
So, we'll dive right in, and the reason what we want to do today is actually talk about some database best practices. And so, and you guys have been around databases and technology for a long time. In fact, you do a lot of training on databases and technology. Cody, you have how many locations?
We're in 115.
And so you've got 150 different locations, and so technology is important for both of you guys as you guys have scaled out your businesses. Is that true?
Yeah, I would say I'm in 4 locations. Thanks for that 115 there. Technology is integral, obviously, in all that we do. We've had the opportunity to really experience a number of different database systems or CRMs, and so I think we have a unique vantage point. But it's interesting, like we talk around database, I couldn't function in my business today without the CRM. It's not just for my contacts, it's how I actually operate my entire world.
Right.
100%. You know, we were talking about this yesterday, and to me, in my world, the database of yesterday cannot be the database of tomorrow. The database of yesterday was basically built on force, of forcing and forcing and forcing, and being in people's way. The database of tomorrow is attracting, and this is why we want to talk with each other. Yeah. It's very, very different. We can't hang on to what used to work because it won't work tomorrow.
No.
All right. So
well said.
Yesterday we talked how every second 3 contacts were being added to the database. We are now up to every second 9 contacts are being integrated into Command, which is pretty cool.
The message is getting out there.
It is.
We love that.
It is
good for you, by the way.
Scaling fast.
Yes.
And we also talked that only 8% of those contacts had an address. We're now up to 14%, which is really good.
We love this, and we are so proud of you, everybody, for beginning to understand it really matters. It matters.
And you may not think that that's a big number, a big jump, but that's actually almost a 50% increase in the amount of people in your database that you now understand at least some context about where they live. And we're talking.
But we didn't necessarily need the addresses the way that we have done business. But the opportunities of technology, particularly a platform, changes the game completely. Now having that address is really important.
Yes. So we do want to get into a quick panel around just some best practices so that when we go back and we can start to implement whatever database, and obviously Command is the one that we're launching here, but you can always leave and say, here's the best practices that you can be doing around your database, and that's what we want to kind of jump into. And we had a conversation yesterday around the first thing that you guys do is basically segment your database into two groups. And can you guys talk about kind of how you do that? We'll start here.
I mean, I think when I look at my database, I'm going to first look at what do I perceive to be low-hanging fruit. And theoretically, that should be the people that know you, trust you, like you. And so I think when you leave here today or even from here and you get into Command as you're all doing, it's important to segment out that SOI, and not just segment out the SOI, but as we were talking about yesterday, bring it down to what Gary taught us in MREA, core advocates, and set up a plan. I think we refer to that sometimes as 33 touch, and filter out, figure out how to set up that SOI. Now, when we talk around filtering, right, and the smart views, fill in the blanks. But I want to just make one real quick point if I could. When we look at those addresses, I want to share with the audience, you don't just go, I discourage you from just going back and figuring out, how do I input these addresses? Can I search my email? Can I search property tax records? I get it, you want to get the addresses in, but this is a lead generation opportunity, right? Like, you get the opportunity to call everybody in your SOI and start to fill in the gaps, address being one part. So I'm making that phone call, I'm updating my database, just wanted to reach out, I have your email address, I have your phone number, I actually don't have your physical address, and I want to send you a couple cool things this year. Is that okay if I can grab that from you? And I think that that's really important to mention, because it's not a rush to get the address, it's a rush to have that contact.
And again, we talked about this yesterday, but it's really cool to me because what everyone, you guys included, have helped design in the lab's process is something that now, being able to get the market analysis at the neighborhood level, they can't get that at Zillow or Redfin or any other portal out there. And so you actually now can call with unique value. And I think, Cody, that's what you were talking about, which was moving from a, well, you said something yesterday. Well, how you frame that up?
Like the SOI, I see the SOI as truly prospects. Everything else is a suspect. And that's okay too. Suspects can become prospects. Though I think sometimes we race right by people that know us and love us, and we go introduce ourselves to people without talking to those that already know us and love us, that don't need to hear who we are, just need to hear our voice. And you're going to ultimately do both. I mean, and truly you're lead generating because there's two reasons. You might find a sale today, you might uncover one, that's great. Unless you're going to retire with that one sale, you need some more sales tomorrow. So the other hand is you're going to uncover follow-up, and we all know the fortune's going to be in that follow-up. So for me, it's that SOI. It's not just SOI, it's SOI and then it's everything else. And I think, Gary, we become polarized, I think, sometimes with I'm this or I'm that. I'm this type or I'm that type. I really want you in the market you're going into to be and more than or. I don't think you have to be this or this. Do both of it. Work both. They're both going to matter. We make contacts, and is it contacts for contact's sake or contacts for contract's sake? Start with that SOI. They're the ones who like it.
And when you do the research, the number one source for leads across all top producers
over and over
is their database. That's right. Because the world's moving towards permission-based marketing, permission-based service, right? It's
the moat.
I think some of the hesitancy has always been like, I don't know if I'm providing value, right? And I think that's one thing we've done, with Command is that neighborhood. I know we keep talking around it, but it's cool. One of the coolest pieces of value that we're able to now give our consumers or our SOI. It's quite a bit different than the traditional MLS portal.
When Josh was telling me about this, I was in the very beginning, no offense, I was like, what's even important about this? Like, I don't know, I'll listen. And as he's like explaining it, I'm going, like, that's a problem I didn't know I had. Like, that's a hole I didn't know existed.
Well, we didn't either until we got into the labs and started looking at it. We didn't know that either.
So all right, let's get tactical. So now, you have someone in your database where you break them down and you say, I've got my. Do you call them SOIs? Do you call them what do you call them?
You want me to tell you what I'm doing right now?
I want you to say in your database, what do you call the people that are your very important people?
We are calling it our SOI and breaking it down further to our VIPs, our most important individuals, our core advocates.
And so how do you do that? Do you do that with a tag? Do you do that with what do you do?
Right, so I think we're going to build a tag right now. We're going to identify, so we're going to identify our SOI, and then we're going to further tag that to say these are our core people. So on my team, we ask every agent to show up with 100 people minimum in their SOI. And from that, we identify the top 50, the people that know them the best, trust them the most.
So you take 100 people and you apply an SOI tag, and then you apply 50 of those as a VIP tag.
Right.
And so you got VIP and SOI tags.
Right, that's correct.
And Cody, and how are you doing that?
So in one of the systems, we call them HOTS. In one system, we call them P1s. In another system, we've just labeled them best people. And so we just kind of have these different labels.
Yes. Actually, what you just heard was what Gary and I heard in the labs process, which is if we put a lot of agents in a room and say, so, okay, we all agree that we should look at our database in two buckets, the people that we should talk to today because they're most likely to want to do a transaction with us right now, and everyone agreed to that.
That's right.
As soon as we said, okay, now how do you do that and what do you call them, no one agreed. It was
That's
awkward.
right.
Yeah.
It's comical, but then to watch you build the system around that is
oh my God.
really cool.
So here's the best practice you can do in Command, because we built Command to have Legos so that you can configure this however your business works. Again, our kind of mantra is You should never have to change your business practice to fit inside of your technology. As soon as you're doing that, you should stop. As soon as the technology is saying you should do something a little bit differently because that's how we built the system, you should get really nervous about that because you're the expert at real estate. And so what you can do inside of Command, and the way you guys built this, is you can go into settings and you can click this button on the left called custom fields. The reason they're custom fields is because no one agreed on what we should call these things.
Yeah, right.
So you click on, I'm going to create a new custom field, and I can then type in if I'm in category 1, SOI, if I'm in category 2, P1, if I'm in category 3, and I can call them a hot. We can call these whatever makes sense in your business, because again, don't change what makes you awesome. You put it in, and then just drop down and says, well, what kind of field is this? Well, this is a yes or no question. So I just want to have a little checkbox. So I hit the checkbox, I hit create, and now Command is something that very few other systems that we've seen, actually we haven't seen one that does this yet. Instead of having this complicated tag structure where you have tags on tags on tags and you're just managing buckets of tags, Command actually understands that this thing called SOI is really important to my business. And so when I'm now looking at my contacts or my database, I can hit this button called Customize Columns on the top right. And that will then bring up all of my fields, both standard, and now I've got this new custom one called SOI. I just check the box that says I want to see my SOI because that's how I talk about my database and it's my business. And now, so I click that, I hit apply, and then I can now see everyone who's in SOI as a part of my database. The cool part about this is that this SOI column, or whatever you call it, it will be a part of your reporting, your smart views, filters. So no longer are you having to manage tags among tags among tags and hope everyone in the system understands the right tags and doesn't spell it the right way and doesn't pluralize it or simplify it. And if you're dealing with a big database, you can understand. I mean, do you guys have to deal with tags a lot?
Yeah, a little bit. We try to limit it, we try to control, but it's very challenging. But this, Josh, I think it's really cool from an agent's perspective because this is a result of a system being constructed by agents that then go work with technologists, as opposed to what I've seen for the most part in the industry, which is technologists then asking agents if this works.
Well, the cool, again, the thing that Gary and I get really excited about is our only, we're not at all up here saying you should never pay for technology. There's some amazing technology that offers a great value that you may need to pay to grow your business.
Absolutely.
The commitment here is our only incentive is to build technology to help you do more real estate deals because that's our only agenda.
Yeah, we're not trying to sell you something. We want you to go sell something.
That's exactly right. And so that's it. And we're going to continue doing whatever you tell us to do to go sell one more deal.
Right.
All right.
Now by the way, just so you know, we'll hit back on probably we'll take a few days off, right? But we'll hit the ground running on the 25th, and we'll just be starting the lab process. We'll just keep right going. Nothing stops.
So you did mention something that we talked about yesterday. Now you said, now that we've got my SOI, and I can quickly with 2 buttons say who's in my sphere of influence and who's not, you even go a step deeper, and you want to treat these kind of VIPs inside of your SOI. And what do you do with that?
So in terms of the VIPs, for us, we're just ramping up the amount of interaction that we're having with VIPs. See, I think in my world, in our sales worlds, we talk about this. Everything you're doing is ultimately to drive to a conversation, ideally face-to-face, but at the very least over the phone. The more intimate the interaction, the higher the rate of success, right? So with the VIPs specifically, we'll segment them out and we'll increase the frequency of interaction and the content that's being delivered. Now, all that being said, the neighborhood pages kind of solve a few things for us in that it creates value and a unique experience. I love what Gary said, or Josh, maybe you said it yesterday around, we talked about it backstage. We actually don't need a site anymore when you're creating all these custom sites for all of your
The world's going to change this year dramatically,
really
and it's going to happen fast.
If you think about it, Netflix's homepage, I go to my Netflix's homepage. I want to know about my Netflix. I want to know about my Amazon.
That's right.
I don't want to go to a general where everyone sees the same thing. I want to go to a place that's curated for me. And any time that we can do that, we win because it gives us a reason to contact. And I hear both of you guys saying we now have more reasons to contact because we can make them smarter about either somewhere they're looking or where they live at a hyper-local level. All right, now, Cody, do you use VIP language in your business, and what do you use, and how do you handle that?
We do, and really, like, we built our businesses becoming specialists, and then we took our technology and became generalists. And this is turning that back around. And you know, like with the VIPs or whatever buckets you want to look at, I mean, we use all the buckets that everybody does, whether it's VIPs or for sale by owners, Mets and haven't Mets. You go all the way back to all these things that have always worked, always will work. The issue is not necessarily winning the game hasn't changed. How you play the game changes dramatically. That's right. And it's going to change whether I want it to change or not. It's going to change whether I like it or not. It's going to change whether it's the way I want to do business or not. And I made peace with the fact that I want to do business and I want to do a whole lot of it, so I have to go to where the consumer is. I don't get to choose for the consumer. I don't get to tell them how they're going to engage or interact with me. My job is to show up and make sure that I speak the language they want to speak. And there's really nobody in this room who can't own their database, which is that moat that you build around the castle. And back in the medieval days, when Brian first started selling real estate,
I think you're a little older.
The moat around that castle kept the bad people out. The moat serves two purposes, though. The moat also kept the people in that paid the taxes. And the moat keeps our database in, so it keeps everybody out, it keeps the database in. And that's what this is about.
That's right.
So once we understand that we have our database and SOI, we're going to walk.
Can I just say one thing about that? What you said is beyond correct. We haven't gotten there quite yet, but the real estate industry, and I said this earlier in the weekend, is that we've all been competing at a place where you can do what I can do what you can do. So the customer has a difficult time differentiating between you and a aggregator. They don't understand. That game is changing. And by the end of this year, probably before the end of the year, the game will have changed where it's a land grab. In other words, as you go get a customer, and let's say again, whether it be Amazon or Facebook or Netflix or wherever the examples you want to use, when you get those people, they don't turn around and leave that. They may add something else, but they don't leave that. The real estate industry is not used to that. The real estate industry is used to, just like I got in real estate, right? I show up and I can compete directly with everybody else to go list a FSBO or an expired or any of that. Well, you have to understand something. Platforms are going to completely change that because they're going to customize a unique experience to the consumer they can't get anywhere else. And as the consumer uses a particular site or app, it starts morphing into their personal experience. And all their stuff gets in there, just like mobile banking app does, right? All of it gets in there to the point where if someone else comes along and says, hey, we now have caught up with KW, we now have a consumer app. And it does all these cool things. The consumer's going to go, why would I undo my home management system? Why would I undo my automatic refi program? Why would I undo all of the customization and all the things that AI has done in order to give me a unique experience that can't be duplicated? Why in the world would I then turn around and ditch all of that and pick up yours?
That's right.
And this is the question, because I get asked all the time, what's going to happen when the competition catches up with your agents with technology? And I said, you need to go study history. The world has platform changes everything.
Well, it's funny because that question
it changes it. This is a land grab. This is not a they're going to catch up to me. This is a they cannot catch up to me. This is a remarkable time. You're not going to feel it right now. You really aren't. You're going to get into command. There's going to be some cool things that are truly unique. You're going to start playing with it. But just like all of a sudden, we now know who has a CRM and who doesn't. We know what's in the database. We know we're beginning to understand, not us personally, but the AI is beginning to understand this. Imagine how all of this happens with the consumers. The race was to build the platform. The race was to get to the platform and beginning to offer unique experiences that ultimately become customized to a point where it can't be duplicated. Once you get there, everyone else is playing for second place.
That's right.
And that's our goal for you, is that anyone you're competing with, they're playing for second place in your community.
And so our goal...
The people that clapped got it. The other people are going, what? What did he say?
Well, our goal is to deliver and to get to that vision. which we are excited about this year, we've got to get the basics right. So if you don't have a real estate CRM that lets you add real estate value in your daily conversations, understand who you're going to contact and why, then we don't have the building blocks in your individual business to get to that end game that we just described. And so we're walking through right now just the very basics so you can understand you've got the foundation that we can keep building onto to see that vision come to life. And so one of the things, again, in the last process was this tag. So we actually have built tag management. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because time is precious and everyone will go to sleep if we get into tag management. But I do want to show you that you can come into Command, create a custom tag. We're going to use the VIB nomenclature.
Let me just stop for a second. You guys have no idea how important those colors were in the labs.
Yes.
We're going, it's just colors.
They want to be able to pick which color this tag is. We're going to go with a purple tag of VIP. Now, when I come into my database, I can start to tag people that are in... Oop.
Don't do that.
And colors. I just really wanted a chance to show colors again.
Yeah, right.
So we got it, guys. We heard you. And then on side of here, I can start tagging people in my database as VIP. So with a smart view inside of Command with 3 button clicks, I can come in and say, show me people that are in my SOI, that are a VIP, that I haven't talked to in 90 days. Save that as a smart view, and then that becomes the people that I should call today, and that becomes your call list. It's just that simple.
Yep.
Which then got us to the conversation that said, okay, I knew who I'm going to call. I'm going to call him. What are we going to talk about?
Right. You know, I was thinking last night, and you'll appreciate this, how long Gary's been talking to us about creating a membership-based business, create a subscription service.
Like, what is that?
And we would leave the room in our masterminds, and we'd all go back, and we'd come back to Austin a few months later and still not have an answer for what that subscription or membership looked like.
Yeah.
I found personally that I didn't know what to deliver. I didn't know what to give, right? Like in my business, and talking best practices, I do not use a lot of drip emails and things of that nature. Instead, we use MLS searches. We send properties, give the people what they want. I think they want properties. Sellers want properties, buyers want properties. But even still, it's not really customized. It's not.
Well, the challenge with that, right, is there's only, of your entire database, there's only a small percentage that are looking to transact in the next 30 days.
Yeah.
So only the people that are really interested in like what's happening with that home across town is someone who's really interested in buying across town in the next 30 days. So for 90-something% of your database, that's not of extreme value to them because they're not that curious at what's happening across every single transaction. And that's where the gap happens.
And I think that's where we're failing in terms of subscription, right? Because you're not delivering value. So whether they intend to move in 6 years or in 6 months, the unique value provided by an actual neighborhood overview is, it's there. So in terms of what we're going to deliver, like I said, I've always sent properties. This is a unique way to now deliver actual value to people that, whether or not they're searching at that current moment.
Right. That's right.
We said for a long time, we would always say, like in sales, we would say it's a numbers game, of course. And Gary, you've said it's a contact sport at the end of the day, and whoever's got the most contacts is ultimately going to win.
That's right.
And we went into this period of time where it was almost, Josh, it almost became like anything works and nothing doesn't. Like it kind of just, anything works. I don't know. I have as a business owner, I have a level of anxiety that I don't know that anything works tomorrow. I don't know that. I don't know that I can just keep doing it and anything works. I don't know that that's the case. I think as this gets smarter, I'm stuck. And I either go with it and get in front of it, or I'm going to be fighting for second place, and that would probably be at best. And I refuse to be there. And I made peace a long time ago. I made peace with the fact that my database and the business doesn't really care how I want to do business. They don't care if I like this part, don't like that part. That's irrelevant. That's the thought process of a low-producing person. A high-producing person says, nobody cares, and I'm going to do the business the way the business has to be done. The only way it's going to be done. So if you're gonna talk to these VIPs, and of course you're gonna start there. At the same time though, it's like anything else. If you get the leads that you need from there, then great, you can stop. If you don't, you have to go out. And you have to expand further than that. So whether it's sending out like unsolicited APIs or CMAs, or whether it's just making phone calls over and over and over again, regardless of what you're gonna do, you start with this. And if you don't have that backbone, We've known for years. I mean, we teach it in bold. You build it, you feed it, you communicate with it, and then you service it. The problem is we've all been stuck as an industry at building it for decades.
Yeah.
Whether we were building a virtual Rolodex or whether we're building this is the opportunity where we say, great, now we can actually just move right into feeding it and communicating with it.
And the reason why all that shifted is because it was too complex for you to do. Platforms allow you to do simple because the platform does the complex.
Yes.
Do you understand that? If we go back, we can't live in complexity. We can't tackle that problem. Today, we can tackle it because the platform tackles it for us. It becomes simple for us now to do.
For a guy that enjoyed 4th grade twice, I struggle with complexity.
You know, as we're talking...
I do too, by the way.
As we're talking about this, I remember, and we've chatted around this, we compare notes on it. The average length of time, Josh, from the time someone enters my database, not SOI or VIP, just a lead, let's say, the average length of time from the time it enters until the time we actually transact business is 19 months. Meaning that I have some clients that are 48 months out or 60 months, and I also have some now business.
That's right.
But the question around what do you do during those 19 months? Well, frankly, the strategy has been how do we keep them off of other people's websites?
That's right.
Like what game are we playing to capture them and bring them into our world? And going
Absolutely.
back to the subscription
And you have
question,
to have unique
Yeah.
value for that.
That's right.
If you don't have unique value, then it's really, really hard for you to keep them into your environment because they're going to go to wherever gives them unique value. This is why the assessment worked in all of its fallacies, even though it wasn't accurate, because there was unique value until everyone caught up.
Yep.
That's the game we're playing now. So I would ask you how you do this log into one system in your current systems and send neighborhood updates across the country in one place automatically with 3 button clicks. But I know the answer. You can't. So with that, here's how we do this. We can come into command. You get a contact. We've tagged this as our SOI. We've tagged this as a VIP. We then click on Add Neighborhood. We've gone through this before, but just to make sure it iterates. We see where they live, or I can search the map anywhere in the country. With a few button clicks, we can subscribe them to the neighborhoods that they either live in or around them if they're just in the homeownership phase. Or I can search for neighborhoods that they're curiously looking into. Once I'm done, I hit Add Neighborhoods. That then creates a one-to-one personalized web page for that client, branded as me, keeping them up to date on everything inside of that neighborhood. And you can customize that, how those neighborhood pages show up inside of your settings under My Neighborhoods.
And we've called that a landing page, but actually it's a personalized
website.
It's a personalized website.
That's right.
It's just in the beginning stages of being that, right? This is phase 1 of that.
That's
when
right.
the consumer app comes out, it morphs into phase 2 of a personalized experience.
And well, even before then, we've got our whole lab process on innovating on these pages. So we're already getting feedback from you guys on how to make it better, make properties clickable, add filters, all those things. Those are the things we're working through our roadmap right now. This is your product. We will build whatever you tell us to build.
It's a partnership. You bet. We will build what you tell us.
When I look at like that customized page, to me, my first thought was it answered the question that I've had hearing Gary for years talk about method and message. And the method is where the consumer is going to look. The message, though, this becomes the message. And all of a sudden, it's a message that they actually care about for the first time. We're going to have to go out and figure out how to deliver messages they care about, not messages we're going to force on them. And that's going to change the way the realtors work, and it's going to change who becomes the top person.
And it's also going to change the value they perceive they get from you. It's going to escalate that value.
That spells opportunity. It spells crisis. And all of a sudden, you have danger and opportunity at one time.
That's right.
So the last thing you guys talked about that's really important when we're getting this, the fundamentals of our database, and it goes back to MREA, is just we've got to know our numbers. And what do you guys mean by that?
Well, I think there's 2 different numbers we're talking about here. We're talking about understanding our ratios with respect to contacts, to appointments, and listings and things of that nature. And we're also talking about the numbers of our business being the balance, the bank balance, the cash flow, things of that nature. So I think we segmented them out in those 2 areas. But just simply knowing your numbers, because I think too many of us don't know them well enough, or we don't know where to go to get them. But I think we're going to focus around knowing your numbers in terms of your activities. right? Like how many contacts I'm making and how many of those contacts are actually turning to ads in the database, and of those ads in the database, the database, how many are we going on appointments with and then taking listings? We've got to know those ratios, right? Because wherever we're deficient, we have to know our deficiencies so we know that we can go train here, or we can go get skill here, or we can go model this or attend this. And I think without knowing those numbers, be it a team or an individual agent, you're behind the 8 ball, right? I think as a business person, right, we preach this. We are business people. We're not necessarily real estate sales agents. We're business people. And as business people, we've got to understand.
Independent contractors. We are business people.
We've got to know our KPIs, our lead measures and lag measures, or whatever you want to call them. You've got to know them because that only ups your game, and you get to focus on where you need to improve, for sure. So knowing those numbers is critical for me. And then in terms of cash flow, which I know we're not going to necessarily get into today, but some things within opportunities allow us to actually track where we stand well in advance. Things even like we're able to track the percentage of our business, not just when the result occurs, like how many buyers versus sellers. We're actually able to track that now via KW Command well in advance, like how many of our leads are buyer-focused leads versus seller-focused leads.
And how long they're staying in each part of the funnel that you've configured as your business. And so you can start seeing, I got to start speeding this part of my funnel up or I'm going to lose revenue.
Well, I know the numbers are still looking pretty rosy, but it's safe to say at some point the market's going to shift. As Gary's taught, and for those that, the younger crew, the young bloods out there that haven't been through this shift, that he or she that controls listings wins the game, right? And we went through that. Knowing that data well in advance, it's critical. It's something we haven't had.
Right.
Cody, how do you know your numbers?
So knowing tells me, knowing my numbers tells me what I need to know, and that's important. What knowing my numbers tells me that's vital is what I don't know yet that I ought to. And so it's a two-way process. I mean, it cuts both ways. And so knowing those numbers allows me to make the right decisions and then make those decisions right. So for us, we track the same thing, whether it's conversion rates or how many contacts, all of it, all the way down to the brass tacks of what has to happen today, this morning, this afternoon. Though knowing the numbers for me personally it's our scoreboard. What are we doing? Are we getting better or are we not getting better? At the end of the day, when you're sitting in this room and you're at, this is number 14 for me and the best reunion I've seen. It's been awesome. The vibe, the feel, you can feel it. It's so fantastic.
We're decided.
It's also a little scary. I won't say that I'm not a little bit in the right way. I'm a little scared of how do I become who I need to be, that the results of my business are a byproduct of my activities. Not forcing it. I'm not out there trying to manipulate it, or if I do this or this, that'll happen. No. How do I make my goal become a byproduct? Well, that means I have to go focus on the activity. So knowing those numbers are great. And there's nobody in this room that can't walk out of this room and be anybody they want to be this next year. This is an opportunity for us. It's a time to hit a reset and say, maybe before I got here I was doing this. It doesn't matter. Think about the size of that rearview mirror in correlation to the size of the windshield. The rearview mirror is important. The windshield's vital.
Yeah.
And the last market shift presented such an opportunity for many of us, right? A lot of us built our careers during that, and now we have this technology shift. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, now you
absolutely.
It's like a perfect
shift is coming.
It's a great
Absolutely.
One time.
So we heard a lot of different in the last process. We heard conversations, and knowing your numbers was really important. And so we're gonna spend the next hour walking through detailed reports. I'm just kidding. I do just want to show you that you can completely track everything, all of your activity, all of your pipeline, all of your dollars in one place in Command. And the one thing that you don't have to worry about and what you never saw in the screenshots is Excel. So everything from customizing your database, customizing your pipeline, understanding how long you're spending in each funnel, conversion rates, understanding your activities, you never had to use Excel. And that was one thing we heard really important inside the last process.
That was a jab at me.
Hey,
right?
I
showed him all my Excel sheets, and it was game over at that point.
Yeah, those are fancy Excel sheets. So here are recapping the panel. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you guys so much. But did we get this right? The 5 things that we should do right now to go and start making sure that we have a foundation to start building a better business is make sure we're identifying our SOI with custom fields, tag our VIPs, So you know who you're going to call tomorrow and have a plan. Start making the calls, and now that you have a unique way of adding new value around neighborhood insights, and then track your numbers to hold yourself accountable to living a big life. Did we get that right?
Do it fast.
Go home is going to change your business for sure.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Whew, that was awesome. You're giving this to me?
It's all, you are in control, my friend.
I love that. Well, you know, this is command is the beginning. Consumer is the end game. Please understand that. So maybe just to get us all reminded of that, maybe we should start real quick and watch that cool.
Do you want to see your consumer app again?
Let's play it one more time. Launch us. Well, that pumps me up.
I'm ready.
So when you watch that and you listen to these guys on stage talk, you begin to get a sense that the Keller Williams is not only the company that you knew, but it's morphing into the company that you need. And we're excited about that, and we so appreciate all of our lab participants over the last year. We're so grateful for the leadership that you have provided for all of us. And like I said, we will take a few days off, we'll start back right up, and we will keep going, and we will not stop. Relentless is the word. So what we want to do now is we want to shift gears, and we kind of want to take a step back and talk about the state of your company. Notice that we no longer call this the SOC, we now call it SOIC, the state of your company, right? So let's dive into this. So the first thing is that in 2018 in January, you achieved #1 in units, you achieved #1 in volume, and you continue to be #1 in agent count. And continue to be #1 in our heart.
That kid is so cute.
That kid is cute. He needs to be wearing red, but we're okay with that. We're totally okay with that. In February of last year, you were actually inducted into the Training Hall of Fame. And the reason that you were is because you were named the #1 training company in the world for all companies in any industry. And so they retired you. They retired you from competition. It's a big deal. Congratulations. That's not a little deal. You earned that. You earned that. In February also, we launched here at Family Reunion a year ago, we launched referrals. Again, it was actually us stepping out real quick because in labs we heard it was necessary, and we said, you know what? We can do something quickly that can have an impact immediately and to show that we can build technology that works, right?
Exactly.
That was the conversation we had. So by the way, just in that period since we launched it, you've sent 49,334 referrals, 10 million agent-to-agent connections, and over 6.1 billion in sales volume was contributed just by this network. And by the way, you've just begun. This is peanuts to what we're going to see.
The cool part was once we had a platform last year, and we took 90 days to build the first iteration of the referral platform as we know it, that's now integrated into Command. Just in that 12 months, because we had a platform, and because you're the largest real estate company the world's ever seen, you now have the largest referral platform that the world's ever seen, and that happened in a short time.
Yep. In March, by the way, Real Trends 500 and Risk Media's Power Broker Top 1000 recognized you as a third of their entire list of top performing real estate businesses. By the way, in April, well, remember, you only represent a little over 10%, around 11% of the active real estate agents in the industry, right? That's somewhere in that number. But you're a third of the success. It's an interesting thing. Right, so in April, by the way, Indeed recognized you as the #1 workplace for work-life balance among all businesses. Not real estate, you guys, all businesses. Very cool. And in May, our amazing worldwide team continued their expansion into Luxembourg and Belgium. In addition to that, Swanepoel recognized you again in that 1/3 of all producing real estate businesses. In May, again, our amazing team expanded our business into Cambodia. And as May, as always, we celebrate Red Day, where we go out, take some time, and give back to our local communities. And again, just an amazing thing, you guys.
Actually, let's take a look at what that looks like.
Okay.
Today, Keller Williams Realty took a break from showing homes to donate their time and talents to give back to the community.
It's all part of the Renew, Energize, and Donate Day, also called
Red Day.
Red Day. Red Day.
Red Day. Red Day.
Red Day is just something we do as a company to give back to the community every year.
It's a great opportunity for us to live and connect and give back in the communities that we work in every day.
We look forward to this day every day because we get a chance to go out into the community and really give back in a significant way.
Doesn't matter to us where you live, you're our neighbor.
Yes. You have a big heart, and we're so grateful. By the way, in addition to that, in May, our own Mo Anderson was inducted into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. Woo! Absolutely. And if you look to the right, that is Carrie Underwood, by the way, with our Mo Anderson. Yes. In July, by the way, Inman gave you the award for the most innovative real estate technology in the industry. In addition to that, in July, we also, our wonderful team expanded into Trinidad and Tobago. Yes. And in July, again, this is interesting and awesome, you made the Forbes list of one of America's best employers for women. Let me just stop for a second. Are you getting a sense of who you are in the world? You're an amazing group of people. As an organization, you are recognized around the world. If you look at all these categories, it's actually stunning what you have accomplished as a group of people. And what you teach the world as a result of what you've done is far beyond your imagination, I guarantee you. It really is. By the way, in August, you won the NAR Hackathon. And again, what was interesting about that was we did it actually just to spite them. Well, again...
I might have framed it a little differently, but...
Okay. Okay. The truth is that we looked up and our team said, hey, we could go win this. Can we go do that? And we said, you bet, guys, go do this. So in 3 weeks, we built a product on our platform. They went into the hackathon, and among all the technology companies, a non-technology company won the best technology.
That's right. That's right.
You did that. You did that. Congratulations. In September, Keller Williams expanded into Ireland. Awesome. And in October, into Chile. So and Bill and his team are going to come out in just a few minutes, but again, you understand that all of these amazing things that you as a group of business people in North America, you do realize you are changing the world. You are impacting the world. You really are, in ways that, again, I'm not sure you can imagine. You are doing it, by the way. In November, Newsweek recognized you in the list of real estate agencies as the best in customer service.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Right. In December, by the way, Career Bliss rated you the #2 happiest company in the United States. I think he's in my market center. I know that guy. Yes. And in December, Indeed recognized you as the #1 workplace culture among all companies. Yes, congratulations. And then, by the way, let's go through the numbers of what we did this past year, right? So in 2018, in the United States and Canada, you sold over 1 million transactions. In KW Worldwide, over 27,000 transactions. In sales volume, $332 billion in the United States and Canada, and $4.5 billion worldwide. Right. And by the way, in profit sharing again, which is an unbelievable program that you guys have created, last year you generated over $170 million, and to date, over $1.2 billion have been paid out. And I just want to take a moment, and I just want us all to recognize that if we didn't have market center owners who were willing to invest in a system that contributed this kind of money back to our lives, none of this would exist. So I just want to acknowledge our owners, our partners in this business, right? It's a partnership. It's a partnership. But we need to take a moment and simply acknowledge that these businessmen and women believe in the idea of collaboration and sharing. Otherwise, none of that would exist. And we're very grateful. All right. So we're going to switch gears real quick, and we're going to let some of our leaders at KW tell the story. So with that, Bill, would you and your team come out? Woohoo! Oh, yeah. You got to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to jump, man.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Bill. We love these guys. We see them in the workplace, and they make us happy. Hey, Josh.
Wow, thank you.
And Bill and I have a shoe and sock war that goes on regularly. What do you want? Okay, so here's the thing. This is the first time this has ever happened, Bill.
Whoa!
We're wearing the same socks. Yeah. I'm going to go change. I'll be right back.
Twinsies. Thank you very much. My life's with Lee. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right, guys.
Well, you know, we're so proud to be here. You can see from the reception that we had with all of our people here, this is a really exciting week for us.
Thanks, Bill. I always do that to Bill because I love him. Sorry.
That's another first. Thank you very much. Utilizing KW's unique culture, our systems and models, training and education, and of course our technology, we aim to change lives with all the countries and all the people that we work with around the world. The first thing we look for is a core group. That's an OP, investors, a regional director, a regional operations manager, and we work in countries which are compatible to our KW unique culture. We look for countries with a stable government, economy, and judicial system. Now in 2018, our KW worldwide family grew to 35 countries. Woo! That's 195 market centers and almost 8,000 agents. That's an increase in 1 year of more than 2,500 agents.
That's awesome.
The transactions that were completed by our worldwide agents was up 43%, from 19,000 transactions to more than 27,000. Now our agents got a 50% raise over 2017, closing more than 100 million in GCI. But really, there was a milestone with that number. Our worldwide associates paid out more than $2 million in gross share last year. Woo! But what we're really proud of is that while I say that number in US dollars, the majority of that gross share was paid out in the countries where it was earned, in pesos, in euro, in lira, in rand, to the agents who are sharing the value of this Keller Williams unique culture to attract new members to our family.
And these amazing results are being driven in every corner of the world. From Mexico, got a team from Mexico here, to France, to Cambodia. There are so many stories of how our models, systems, and culture are truly changing lives. We want to give you just one wonderful example of this, and it's our team in Keller Williams, Colombia. Regional Operating Partner Camilo Finegra, Regional Director Diego Lamonto, and Regional Training Manager Claudia Restrepo have been on the job, for just 1 year. 12 months ago, they started with 74 agents in 2 market centers. Today, they have over 300 agents in 5 market centers. This year, they'll be the #1 real estate company in Colombia. Woo! They follow the model in every way. They do their 4 conversations weekly. They work with their OPs, their team leaders. They have no leadership vacancies in their market centers. They've run Ignite 11 times in the last 12 months. And because of their growth, because of that awesome growth, they've already been able to lower their caps, deliver even more value to their agents, and they've increased the number of producers in their offices exponentially. It's really awesome. We thank you, Camilo, Diego, and Claudia, for everything that you're doing. You bring leadership, entrepreneurship to our Keller Williams models and systems. You're changing lives, and it's awesome. And here today in New Orleans, our family is growing around the world again.
We are actually so honored to introduce to you the newest regions launching around the world. Please join us in welcoming to their very first family reunion, your regional leadership team for KW Chile.
Viva Chile!
led by Claudia Guzman, Regional Operating Principal, and her core group. This team blew us away with one of the fastest market center launches we have seen by opening their first market center in Santiago, Chile, just a few months after regional training. Congratulations, KW Chile. And to all of our friends of the Emerald Isle, please give a huge welcome to Keller Williams Ireland. They're fun. Led by Regional OP, the guy with the hat, Paul Allen, and Regional Director Darren Darcy. Paul and his team already lead one of the most agent-centric businesses we've seen in Dublin, and now they're changing lives throughout the entire country. We're honored to be in business with you. Thank you, guys. Woo-hoo. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Keller Williams grows because of you, because of what you're building and how you're changing lives around the world. And thanks to the growth that you and our European family have achieved, we are thrilled to announce to you, hot off the press, for the first time ever, your newest region kicking off 2019, KW Italy. Woo-hoo! Please welcome Regional OP Marco Scipione and his regional core team. Marco, thank you for taking this journey with us. We are so excited about what Marco's team will do. And Keller Williams family, thank you for paving the way. Please share your networks in South America, Europe, and Asia with all of our worldwide regional leaders. The opportunity to change lives begins now. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Josh.
All right.
Next up, culture.
We've got Mo Anderson welcoming us.
Mo, let's go.
Woo!
Glad Thank you. Thank you. I love you, Gary.
Love you too, dude.
Mo, 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 mo.
Mo, 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 mo.
Gary.
Oh, shut up. Mo.
How's that Hall of Fame, Mo?
What?
How's that Hall of Fame?
Well, I was pretty shocked. Early in our history, Gary told us that we would need to embrace reinvention. And he said, if you're going to compete and win, you better be ready to make changes, because reinvention and changes never stop. And we're doing a great job of reinventing and changing technology. We have been fantastic in creating growth, but we can't forget that culture is the mortar that holds these bricks together.
Yes.
Really, culture is the secret sauce that makes us unique and more powerful than any other company. And reinvention and change without culture can be very ineffective.
Yes.
Now, we define our culture as the predetermined way that we agree to treat each other. And many of you have told me that you have come to Keller Williams because of culture. So let me give you just a minute of perspective. It was in the late 80s when Gary met with his top 12 agents to reinvent the company. And he asked a profound question. He said, what do we need to do to build a company that no one would ever want to leave? And that question launched one of the most creative reinventions in the history of American business. And Gary and his team created the CAP system, unheard of in the industry. They developed the profit share system, which called for open books. And before that time, no company owner ever revealed their financials. And Gary and his team invented the Agent Leadership Council. And that gives our people a say in decisions at all levels of the organization. And the way Gary and his team agreed they would treat each other in those early days was expressed in our first of 4 pillars of culture, the Y, 4C, 2 T's. Or as Gary says, the Y, 4C, 2 T's.
Wow.
Now, later we developed pillar number 2, the MVVBP, mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. And then in 2008, we had a collaboration of people, and we created number 3. It's a piece called What is Culture? And it's a list of 52 action items that helps you understand what culture really looks like inside a market center. And the 4th and final pillar, of course, is our 6 perspectives. Gary had discovered early on that all high achievers have a common mindset. They commit to self-mastery in the 80-20 rule. They move from E to P. They're learning-based. They remove limiting beliefs, and they are accountable. Now, these 4 pillars are pinned to the bedrock of our company to sustain and support the culture. And I've been honored beyond measure to have served as your first CEO after Gary. And now as vice chairman during our climb to the #1 spot in the world. I am so proud of this company, and I am so proud of our culture, because you see it shows up in the way you treat each other, the way you treat your clients, and the way you treat co-op agents. It shows up in how our market centers treat you, and the way our regions treat our market centers, and the way the international staff treats all of you. And KW Cares, KW Kids Can, and Red Day are the amazing result of having culture inside the market center. So every day together, we're demonstrating that the higher purpose of business is giving, sharing, and caring. So in closing, I want to challenge you. It's really time for us to get back to the 4 pillars of our culture. Why? Why? Because relationships matter. Who you are in business with matters, and no transaction is worth our reputation. God and family first, then business. It really matters because all of this is culture.
We have breaking news out of Anchorage, Alaska, where there has been an earthquake.
Devastating California wildfires.
Hurricane Florence, Hurricane Michael.
We cannot thank you guys enough for helping save our dream home.
Keller Williams has been awesome.
It's like I've had my whole extended family here and we're all holding each other up.
It would have been a long road if KW Cares wasn't here.
So, Mary, KW Cares first started in your market center, and we're so grateful for that. Tell us about what happened in 2018.
2018 was first of all, I want you to know I think I've been set up. And the reason is, number one, I follow Mo Anderson. I was told,
First, we didn't give you a hug.
Then I was told to wear a t-shirt in front of 17,800 people, and I'm the only one that wore the t-shirt in front of 17,000. So I think once again, it's a gotcha. It's a gotcha bomb. Okay, all right. Okay, so this last year was extraordinary, and it was a red letter year for KW Cares. This will change the trajectory of KW Cares forever. And one of the reasons is because this year we were able to implement, try, and test the KW Cares Disaster Relief Plan. And so I want to give special thanks and much appreciation to New Bern and to Wilmington, who actually were the first recipients of that. And actually, this is the New Bern t-shirt that they're wearing, and it says, "We are proof KW Cares," and that's absolutely true. So what happens now when there's a disaster is that if we have any time ahead of a disaster, which we did this last year, Florence was a slow-moving disaster. So that meant that the wonderful leadership under Mark Brenneman actually had all the positions set up and filled, locations, everything done before the disaster even hit. They followed the book beautifully. In addition to that, it totally coincides with our disaster relief plan from KW Cares. So this meant we were able to be proactive before a disaster hit. We didn't wait for it to hit, and it changed everything. The systems were extraordinary. This is Keller Williams. We operate everything off systems, and it's taken us a few years, but now KW Cares Disaster Relief Plan is a complete system that can adapt from fires to floods to whatever crises that we're dealing with. And I want to thank the first people who went out and tested it and made sure that it was good. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Before I go into this year, I want you to know some of the things you've done. You, through KW Cares, have given back $37 million to agents in need.
Wow.
$37 million.
Wow, that's a big deal.
You talk about culture. I mean, that is as amazing as anything in the world. That's 4,500 grants that were given out. That doesn't include our trailers, our generators, our food, our materials. That's cash. That $37 million was cash that was sent directly to agents in need.
Yes.
And you guys, there's no other organization out there that has ever done this. And you are amazing. I also want to point out that there's magnificent organizations and companies out there that we admire very much that do fantastic charity work. Let me tell you the difference between them and KW Cares. If you work for one of these wonderful companies that goes out there, you're getting paid while you're out there helping. KW Cares has their agents come and help, and they're giving up income they could be producing to drive clear across the country to help our agents in need. So they're not only helping physically, they're giving up their own income. We're the only company I know of where the agents are absolutely contributing what they could be doing every single day.
Yes.
When you have agents like Lucas Weston and Christopher B., yeah, major. When you have those guys that will get in a car, drive all day to Wilmington, South Carolina, and then they sleep on the beach at night because we don't yet have enough rooms set up for everyone. They sleep on the beach at night, get up in the morning, and come and help us dig out houses and move trash all day because they're part of our Keller Williams family. I don't think culture gets any stronger or better than that, and I admire them tremendously. So in the New Bern Market Center, the magnificent New Bern Market Center, they literally set up house. So agents who lost their homes literally moved into the market centers. We had our food there, and by the way, I just want to say for all future crises, they had a gourmet cook there for us.
Oh.
And so if we could kind of set a new standard, that would be really, really nice. We could hardly wait to get back to eat every single night. It was magnificent. So, but in New Bern, their agents were actually sleeping all night and living in the market centers. We had one woman who was 9 months pregnant. Every morning we went in, we wanted to know if she delivered or if she didn't. There were little kids playing all around the halls, all while we were leading an extraordinary, well-organized disaster relief. I'm in such awe of that market center and what they did. It was really, really a pleasure. Then we moved on to Wilmington. And in Wilmington, we ran into some different issues. Every single crisis has its own hardships. But I want you to know, KW Cares isn't there for just after there's a crisis. It's there to help people not get caught in a crisis. So we found that many times people don't get out of the road of a terrible disaster, a hurricane or a flood, because economically they can't get out of it. And that's really, really hard. KW Cares has an emergency fund. We can move anybody out of anywhere whenever we need to, and they can get cash immediately so that we can make it happen. And I think that's pretty cool.
It is.
In Wilmington, we had 2 mothers that were 9 months plus expecting babies, and they weren't leaving the area. Because of because of what you've contributed to them, we were able to send them thousands of dollars to get on the road and go find housing another place. One of those babies was born with problems with their umbilical cord. That move that we made to get that baby out of there saved that baby's life.
Wow.
And that's just extraordinary. I also want you to know that KW Cares has been in there begging and pleading with our tech. Our tech world isn't just about us making more money, but I'm really glad they are about that. They are also about helping us. Do you know that prior to this, if there was a disaster, for us to even find out where the agents lived, where we had to go, how fast we had to get there, could take us 2 and 3 days. 2 and 3 days in a disaster is huge. Time warps. It's a very different animal. Right now, because of what Josh and his tech people have done, in an emergency, we can track a house of an agent of ours instantly. Do you know what it was like to know that in Sausalito, when we hear a house is running down the hill and hitting another house, we could instantly know that none of our agents were in harm's way. That saves wonderful Kathy Knight at least 5 nights of good rest. That is absolutely wonderful. So thank you. We appreciate it very, very much. KW Cares is not just local, it is worldwide. And worldwide's gotten very, very, very big, and so has KW Cares. I want to talk about what happened in Portugal. In Portugal, in the last couple of years, they've had 3 huge fires that have really been devastating for Portugal. And so the Portugal leaders stepped forward, and André Fegueiredo took a group and found pharmaceuticals, supplies, drove 250 kilometers to deliver them to the firemen in need. Rui Meru literally cooked dinner for the people, the firemen that were there. They carried supplies. They were absolutely extraordinary. Then 2 market centers got together, and it was Prime and Viva, and they got together, and 90 of their agents went out and started reforestation. They planted 700 trees to help with that immediately. But Mo, I want you to know their goal for Red Day is to plant 10,000 trees, which coincidentally happens to be the number of agents they will have in 5 years. So thank you, Portugal. Your leadership is marvelous. Well done. So all in all, I'm thrilled with this year, and I'm happy to tell you, because everywhere we've gone, the people that are there have added to KW Cares. The people have taught us how to do it better. Every single place we've gone, we've had to update our training manuals and what we do and how we do it. So because of the wonderful people that have helped us grow, I'm here to tell you, I really believe KW Cares is stronger and better prepared to help you in future disasters than it's ever been before. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so much.
There's a lot of heart in Keller Williams all over the world. It's pretty amazing. All right, Smokey, come on out.
My brother.
How's it going?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good.
Best name in the company.
See, best name. There we go.
We hug, man.
Gary, we hug it out. I like hugging it out.
Man.
All right, perfect.
This is yours.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right. Good morning, Keller Williams. How you doing?
Great.
That's what I'm talking about. So I'm excited to be here. First of all, I want to thank everybody for this lab process. It's been an amazing 2 years, Gary. Thank you for your vision with this. Thank you for this lab. It's been an amazing couple years in this lab. First off, in starting this lab for Keller Mortgage, we ask you to change. How do they feel about change, Gary, usually?
Change is tough for all of us, buddy.
Change is tough, and change is messy, and it gets kind of ugly, and so can get ugly, but we ask you to change. I got to tell you, Keller Williams, you answered the bell. You didn't just change yourself, you changed the mortgage industry. You changed what you're doing. You changed the way you did business, and you ended up showing people a different way to show value, which is through consumer savings. So Keller Williams, you see here. Oops, where we go?
One more. Keep going.
Kelly, there we go.
Click one more. There we go.
There we go. So all right, so Keller Williams, a couple of things. I want to look at a little bit of history. So I think it's important to look back down the road at where we've been and where we've come from. Just 2 years ago, we started this. You had this going, Austin, Texas. 2 simple years ago in one little city. From that, standing on this stage here last year, we got to talk about some really cool, fun information. What we got to share was that we had 37 market centers that we had launched out with Keller Mortgage. We were labbing this in 37 different market centers. We had 5 different marketplaces that we were actually marketing this and working with this through the process. We had 3,000 agents in this lab that came out to say, hey, we're excited about this. And the fun number that I got to share last year, we sat here and said, how cool is $4 million? You guys did $4 million in consumer savings. And that was a fun number. And we sat here and said, how amazing is that? How amazing is that number to actually give back $4 million to our customers? What furniture does that buy? What does that do? And obviously, as you always do, you said, you know what? That's not enough. You got to go faster. We got to go bigger. So now, let's see what you did. We're going to fast forward just 1 year later. So 2018, we are in 49 states. We're in 49 different states. New York, we're coming. We're working on it. I promise you we're going to be there. Just give us a minute. We have 30,000 agents. 30,000 agents in this Keller Mortgage Lab. And you, Keller Williams, have saved your customers over $50 million. Woo! $50 million in consumer savings. Give yourselves a hand.
Well, that's not only in closing costs, but that's actually also because our interest rates are so competitive compared to what rates are over the lifetime of the mortgage as well.
Figured highly conservatively. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's what you did for that. So you also had, with advancements to Kelly, in terms of changing Kelly, with advancements with direct to underwriting. Those are both industry first, never been done. Connecting direct to the underwriter. You've done things that just haven't happened before. You've shown an industry and you've shown people really a different way to go use this as a tool for your business. Here we go. So you've increased in back here. So our buyer surveys. So our buyer surveys with this, we have 4.6 out of 5 on your buyer surveys, and you have 4.7 out of 5 stars on your agent surveys. That's something you hold us accountable to monthly when we meet, how we're doing, and we use it by our surveys. Secondly, our on-time closings. One of our value propositions, we've got to make sure we nail this. 99.3% on-time closings.
Wow.
Yes, that is a big number. Something even funner to work with this with is 6 out of the last 7 months, we've been 100%.
Wow.
100% on-time closing.
Wow.
Yeah. So you've also taught us through this. So we talked about consumer savings, how you save money for people, how we actually give back money, and we actually win for ourselves as well. You've also taught us a different way through this lab process, and this has been all you, how you work to save this for your customer. We've talked about increasing conversion rates in sign calls. You've talked about a 20% increase in your sign calls, of how this is really helping to go get this by doing something different. You've had a conversion rate. We've seen conversion rates in your leads go from 10% to a 33% conversion ratio just off of internet leads and sign call leads. Something really powerful, we've seen commissions with people who've been using this for over a year. People have been using this, we've seen commissions go from 2.5% to 2.8% by offering value in a different way. We're not having, yes.
That's a big deal.
Say that one again.
Yeah.
Yes. Commissions. Well, the commission part has gone from 2.5 to 2.8%. What it is we're not having to compete on price. Because it's either price or value. And unless we have, and you guys have shown us the value tools of how this has worked in your business to show value to your customers and not make it about the commission, but about what they put in their pocket when it's all said and done.
Yes.
And so that's been fun. The agents that have used Keller Mortgage to compete directly with the disruptors in our area and all these marketplaces, you've made sure we've gotten there first to any place that is competing with Redfin, competing with any of the disruptors, that we've got there where we're not having to go commission, we can go a different way, and you guys have answered the call. During this lab process, we have changed over 273 different items. Nothing compared to you, Josh. I know your numbers are real big. You throw it here. I've done thousands of stuff. But, you know, we're a little Keller Mortgage. So we did 273 different changes to our systems because of what you said. We're going to continue to make this easy. We're going to continue to work on this. And as Gary said, we are never out of the lab process with this because we are always fighting to make this better, make this a tool, and we want to hear from you how we can use this better. And because of your success, we're really excited to say, we've already kind of announced it, but we're excited to say we have open enrollment through the end of February for anybody.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Both Mary and, a little bit of pressure, both Mary and Mo did ask me backstage, so there's a lot of people going to your Keller Williams booth. She said, can you guys handle all of this? And I'm like, we got it. We got it. We wouldn't be here if we didn't. And so go sign up at kellermortgage.com. In 2019, part of our goals is to go offer this to all of Keller Williams agents, open this up to everybody whenever they are looking to use this, so it can be a tool used all across. And we're working on Canada as well, probably for the next year. So working on all those. Because of your commitment, we will continue to work hard on your behalf. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Keller Williams, for all you've done and for changing the industry once again.
Thank you, Smokey.
Thank you.
Woo. All right, Diana, come on up.
Well done. Well done, love. Well done. Mwah.
Hello.
As you can tell by our chairs sitting over here, this is our last presentation of the morning.
And that's why they're cheering.
Best for last.
It's the
There you
last
go.
presentation, right?
Last presentation, dear.
Well, I want to tell you, at MAPS, the one thing that drives our coaches and team members is our deep desire for change, to change lives and make a difference. That's the reason we're here. In fact, it's the only reason that we're here. Today, at the state of your company, we want to share in the tremendous success that you have had year after year. A journey of success that all of us at MAPS are honored to have been on with you. And here are some unbelievable results that you have accomplished in 2018.
Good day.
Now, bold attendees, just think about this. Only 9.5% of all of our associates attended Bold. And you took 19% of all the listings and 18%, cheer it on. And 18% of all the contracts that were written in 2018. Make no mistake, you are living a life by design. Now, leadership mastery clients. You focus on relationships and growth, and that resulted in your market centers profit sharing an astronomical $126,416,901 back to our associates. Your unwavering commitment to success of our agents yielded 74% of the entire KWRI profit share pool.
Wow.
Now, that's a lot because we don't have all of our leadership in coaching. Now, agent mastery clients, think about this. You represent 1.5% of all of our associates, and you took an incredible 15% of all the listings and 11% of all the contracts written for the entire company. Yeah, 1.5% of you did that. Your success creates a ripple effect that reaches far and wide. Not only in your own life, it reaches lives that are around you, your friends, your loved ones, and it even goes
As soon as I did, I started sharing the BOLT laws with Cassie, since 90% is mindset. Within few months, I saw a change in her. Her grades went up and so did her confidence level. The school even called me a meeting to find out what we had done and what had changed. We no longer needed a tutor, and she graduated elementary school with her class. My attitude changed as well. My husband asked, what happened to my wife? I like the new you. I can't thank you enough, Diana. Thank you for helping me and my family. Because of Bold, Cassie's in college and working at Starbucks today. Without a doctor and without any medication, she's doing great. Also, I was making $40,000 in GCI, and for 2018, my GCI was $280,000 as a single.
Right.
Isn't she great?
I'm gonna hug you both.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we're done. Congratulations, 2018. Let's go make 2019 awesome.
Right.
I don't need to sit here again.
You finished it off well, perfectly.
You were right.